All right, welcome back. Now, I went over this case a few hours ago with the members. Some of you are already aware of this, but this is the animal control officer that was mauled, severely mauled. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, in critical condition. But you see the title. I want to talk about the fact that animal control oftentimes, and if I'm not mistaken, usually has an adoption program. They have an adoption program, and this lady who was mauled was involved in that adoption program. That's why you see the caption. This is actually the video she created in her attempt to adopt out this dog. That's why it says adopt Mia up here. This animal control officer sitting up here advertising dogs. The same dogs that mauled her. And as I pointed out with the members, you can see the stupidity, the utter ignorance of this lady. Laying her face, I mean, she goes beyond being face to face and looking the dog in the eye. When you make physical contact, you've come even closer to being attacked yourself. So, a lot of ignorance on display in this video that she created. But animal control has no business having an adoption program. They have no business having an adoption program. That's like cops coming to arrest criminals and having sympathy for the criminals and looking at the criminals as victims. Animal control officers, your job is to come confiscate problematic dogs. Y'all should be looking at dogs as criminals. Because when they're running wild through the community, they are a lethal threat. They are a menace. They can leave, and they do leave people severely mutilated, as you yourself are currently. So how can you specialize in ridding the community of this menace while at the same time promoting them to those communities? You have all types of hypocrisy like this throughout dog culture.
Tonight, we are learning more about the Broward animal control officer who was severely mauled by a dog. It happened last week in Fort Lauderdale.
And we are also finding out more about the man who helped save her life. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray is at the home in Fort Lauderdale where the attack happened last Thursday.
It's okay. It's too much, right?
That's Broward Animal Control Officer Tina Bernard doing her life's work, helping animals find homes and looking out for them while on the job.
Hey, look at that evil looking beast monster. God, how do y'all tolerate looking at these things? Even the ones that should look fairly, comfortable to lay eyes on look hideous. Like this one. You see how white it is? That white helps to hide wrinkles. right? You can't really see as many, because wrinkles make them look less attractive. This thing still look hideous because of that big oversized mutant mouth and its oversized mutant tongue, which should not be that long. The thing got mutant tongues.
The job.
I need emergency, please! Emergency, please!
What's the address?
The dog is mauling her. There's a dog mauling her.
But last week, police say Bernard was attacked by this American Staffordshire Terrier when she went to check on the animal.
I'm shocked because the dogs used to come out and they never hit any or hurt anyone.
Neighbor Jeanette Andrews said a week before the attack, Bernard had come to free the dog after it had escaped from its home and got stuck in a fence.
A week before the attack, she came out and freed this dumb mutt that had gotten its head trapped somehow.
Between these two, you see the fence, how they have the bamboo and the chain links? The dog was trying to get out and got caught in there. His head was all inside there.
When Tina Bernard showed up a week later to check on the terrier, police say the dog became aggressive.
Check on it for what? I'm still curious about that. Check on it. I didn't know animal control did that. Do welfare checks on a dog? But makes sense. That's their way of humanizing these things.
Gregory Campbell, whose mother called 911, stepped in to save Bernard and ended up getting bitten too.
I'm just happy that she's still with us. I mean, it was all, instinct.
Tina Bernard's friend tells me Bernard is traumatized and has a long road.
That was extremely ignorant. That was an extremely ignorant thing for her to do just then. And if you ask me, it proves that these people, they don't do any research at all in dogs at all. They don't do any research in dog aggression, dog nothing. These dumb companies, animal control, these shelters, they simply hire any idiot off the street. That's what it is. They're doing the same thing at my company. Any idiot, airhead, unqualified person, dirtbag, sick person, whatever. They don't care. Long as it's an able body to do this. I mean, I bet you this woman has not read anything beyond a coloring book on dogs. And even that was back when she was a child. Just having your face this close, dangerous enough, you gonna lay your face on the dog's face? In the world? See, these people, they go overboard. They so desperately want to project these things as harmless that they go overboard trying to prove that they're harmless. Let me lay on it. Let me lay my face on its face. Let me do this with it. Let me do that with it. And that's part of the reason why y'all be getting attacked. Getting your face munched on. Because you notice, in many of these cases, they'll admit, I tried to hug it. I bent down to kiss it and it latched onto my face. I did something just like this lady did. I tried to lay my face on the dog's face. Because you saw how that dog looked at her, right? Even the dog with its dysfunctional brain, its brain is still operational and functional enough to be like, what? It either took that as a threat or it was confused. Because really, this is what dogs do when they challenge each other. And dogs are very careful not to make physical contact. When they face each other face to face, and they're challenging, because that's how they challenge each other. They look each other right in the eye. They usually don't make physical contact. And when there is physical contact, there's usually a fight. So this woman is completely ignorant. They get these people who learned about dogs through dodo videos to be animal control officers. But again, going back to the title of the stream, these people are also we're supposed to trust these people to look at dogs as a threat, as a danger to society. That's how they should look at them, because these are the people we call when there's dogs terrorizing the neighborhood. I don't want a nutter. I don't want to call a nutter in situations like that, because oftentimes these nutters, what will they do? They will get offended that you called. You call and say there's a dog roaming around the neighborhood. You hang up. Do you know what the animal control officer is going to do? What's the big deal? It's just a dog. It's not hurting anyone. That's why they always ask you over the phone, has it hurt anyone yet? And if you say no, there's a good chance they won't even show up. They'll hang up. And they'll be like, what's the big... That's why they started to tell people to catch the dogs themselves. Catch the dog yourself and we'll come get it. You know why they said that? Because that's what they expect you to do anyways. They don't expect you to call them if you see a dog roaming the neighborhood. They expect you to do the same thing that their nutter behind's gonna do. Come out there and kiss it and hug it and take it inside your home. So animal control being also a nutter organization is a problem. It's a contradiction. Look at the, yeah, I don't even have to talk to this lady. I can look at her behavior right here. I can tell, and yeah, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive to the family or her or whatever. I'm not trying to be offensive at all. I can look at her behavior here in these few little seconds and I can tell she's extremely ignorant about dog behavior, aggression, and all of that. And when it comes to dogs and their behavior, aggression, she is an airhead. Got her face all up in this dog's face. You're laying your face on a pit bull's. Are you out of your mind? Oh, skinning and grinning. This mutt is right in your face. What is wrong with y'all? You lost y'all's whole mind. Y'all just crazy out here.
It was all, instinct.
Tina Bernard's friend tells me Bernard is traumatized and has a long road to recovery. She has 1,000 stitches. She credits Gregory Campbell with saving her friend's life.
I would hope that if I were in the same position, someone would intervene in the same way. I think it's more just doing what's right. I mean, it's kind of our job to look out for each other.
We are told the dog was...
She's traumatized. I bet she is. But what is she going to do now? What was she doing before this attack? She was a dog lover and an animal control officer. So quite naturally, the question now is, are you going to continue doing that? What are you going to do now? What are you going to do for a living? Are you going to continue to surround yourself with dogs? Because you're traumatized. You're traumatized. Can you continue to work with dogs the way that you currently are? Or do you have to completely change your life? If you ask me, she's most likely going to go right back around dogs, because the people at the hospital, the doctors, and everybody else going to tell her that if you avoid dogs, that's another mental illness called cynophobia, and you're going to need to be rehabilitated. You can't go through life avoiding dogs. That's what they're going to tell her. Lord. And listen, and what about this comment right here? What'd you say? What'd you say, bro? Let's play that again.
If I were in the same position, someone would intervene in the same way. I think it's more just doing what's right. I mean, it's kind of our job to look out for each other.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You on your own. You know what? I take that back. You're right. It is our job to look out for each other. You look out for each other by not bringing these things into the neighborhood. I got neighbors. My neighbors got youngsters. I'm not about to bring a lethal predator into my home. That's how you look out for each other. If you're going to bring this thing into the community, talking about I'll just control it, you're not looking out for your neighbors. What's the big deal? I'll put a fence up. It's mutt hopping over the fence, crawling under the fence, digging under the fence, slipping through the cracks of the fence. Fence irrelevant. Your stupid leash irrelevant. It's dragging you all up and down the street. Yeah, you look out for each other by not owning these things. Not by jumping in to help the idiot that brought it into the community. That's not my responsibility. That's an option. Especially if you're the one who brought it into the community. If you're the owner of this thing and it teed off and latched onto your face, I might very well sit back and watch. I make a phone call for you. That ain't no problem. I seek shelter, probably high ground, hop on a car roof or something, and I get on my phone. 911, somebody's face is latched onto by a pit bull. Come out here fast. I'll be one of those people making a phone call. But it's not my job to jump in there and dive on that mutt, which is what he did. Remember, Caesar said the exact same thing. Trying to applaud people who jumped in to physically restrain the dog. No, thank you. I'm not about to put myself in the middle of your dog madness. The only way I'll intervene is if I also feel threatened. And if I do intervene, I'm not touching that mutt. I'm going to let some shells touch it. I'm putting heat to that mutt. You better just hope you're all right. I'll get your permission first. Like, hey, I got my Roscoe. This is the only thing I'm willing to use to stop this attack. You okay with that? You say okay, I'll then help you out a little bit. Or if that dog is attacking a helpless citizen. And even then, I'll still use the same method. But jumping in like Superman, trying to box these dogs, man, please.
I would hope that if I were in the same position, someone would intervene in the same way. I think it's more just doing what's right. I mean, it's kind of our job to look out for each other.
We are told the dog was euthanized. Broward County is looking into this incident to see what happened and whether any changes need to be.
To see what happened. What in the world is there to find out? Don't we have enough information? She went to check on it. It attacked her. They want to find out if the woman provoked the dog or not. See how our laws is designed to defend dogs? United States is the most pro-dog country in the world. Easily. I tell you what happened. Nuttery happened. How many of y'all seen this? Y'all remember that Chihuahua that was mauled? I went over it at least twice already. And how many of y'all caught this video from News Nation? Over 2 million subscribers.
I like it when there's something that goes viral for good reason, all right? Tens of millions of people are really pissed off, and for good reason. Last Saturday, New York City, right? Penny the Chihuahua is going out for a little walk, mauled by 2 pit bulls. You know, not like it was a fight. They mauled this little dog, all right? And the owner was there and had no control. The way these dogs were acting raises the question of why were they so bite aggressive? You know, why couldn't anybody get them to stop? It's like this was what they thought they were taught to do, okay? All caught on.
Wow. So, I'm going to stop it there. You heard what he just said. He just implied that those dogs refused to cease attack because they were taught to not cease attack, when it's actually their instinct. And we all know this. Once they draw blood, once they start to attack, they can't stop. We all know this. But as always, instead, they try to make it sound like the human actually taught the dog to behave that way. Take all the blame off the dog, put it on the people. Right? So indirectly, what are they saying? That the dog's nature is to be harmless and loving. No, nutters. See, this is what happened. Nuttery happened.
No control. The way these dogs were acting raises the question of why were they so bite aggressive? You know, why couldn't anybody get them to stop? It's like this was what they thought they were taught to do, okay? All caught on video, bystanders, everybody's going crazy. 15-pound Chihuahua somehow survived. The pit bull's owner just walks away, right? Miraculously, Penny's okay. And she's here with us right now with her owner, Lauren Claus, like Santa Claus. And this is certainly a gift. She looks good, a little sedated. It is just so fortunate that she got away from 2 supersized pit bulls.
Yes, very. I mean, we think she's a little miracle, to be honest. But it was all of the people that jumped in to help that really, that's why she's here today. That we think that if there weren't those people around, if it wasn't this very crowded area of the Upper West Side full of dog lovers, if they hadn't jumped in to help, she wouldn't be with us today.
Now, the issue for you is that it shouldn't just be about money. It shouldn't just be civil.
Right.
If you were to bite the dog,
right,
you would get charged with a crime. But when someone raises dogs that wants to maul an innocent Penny,
yeah,
nothing happens.
Exactly. Yeah,
They are they're assuming, this is all an assumption, that the owners taught and trained those dogs to fight. And with that, they're trying to create a new law called Penny's Law, where if a dog attacks another dog, it's automatically a crime. Have they ever tried to implement a law like that after a human was attacked? No. Look at how motivated they get when it's a dog that's attacked. They'll go after. They're not even trying to cast the attacking dogs in a negative light. Notice that. They're putting all of the blame on the owners. And we're supposed to ignore the fact that it's instinct for these things to not only launch attacks, not only look for something to attack, but to not stop after they launch the attack. This is all instinct for these things, especially so for bully breeds. They are the fighting breed. So all of the aggression and aggressive instincts are amplified in bully breeds, including the physical muscle. Everything that the dog needs that goes into aggression, attacking, and unaliving organisms is enhanced and intensified in bully breeds. And we're supposed to ignore all that and instead believe that the behavior, the aggression that we saw was all taught to the dog by the people. Where these owners, both of them, I mean, they look like they're about 400 pounds each. The owners. They can't, who they gonna train? They ain't training nothing. They at home sitting down most of the time. But okay, this is nuttery that's in the laws. It's discouraging, and it makes it seem like it's impossible for us to win. I mean, look at the media support that nuttery gets. The support it gets in the courts. It's truly insane. All the more reason why we need to stay consistent. These people are very consistent. Nuttery. They don't stop. They refine themselves every single day. But I'm going to keep, best I can, my foot on their necks, because this is sick. If y'all get a chance, be sure to listen to this whole thing. Look into that Penny's Law. You see, they don't try to come up with no law. They don't have no 5-minute special like this. Have they ever done this with a human victim of a dog attack? Brought the mutilated victim onto a show, right? Brought them onto the panel where we can all see their wounds before they're even fully healed. They don't do this. They don't try to garner this much sympathy for human victims, no matter how young they are. They'll never do this. They'll never try to cast dogs in a negative light like that. You see? So this is a dog worshiping cult. And honestly, if somebody were to tell me that they were dog worshipers beforehand, I'd still be surprised when I encountered this level of worship. They put their worship in the laws, in the system, in the culture, in the media, everything. So yeah, no apologies for being a dog culture critic. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this brief live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.